Welcome back, everybody, to a look at a brand new Imprint release. This is 1981's Green Ice. So this is directed by Ernest Day, who I've not seen anything else from before. It's an adventure thriller, and it clocks in at 109 minutes long, depending on the version that you're going to watch. And it apparently had a budget between $10 million and $14 million, but unfortunately only made back about $4 million at the box office. Stars the likes of Ryan O'Neal, who I've seen in the likes of Paper Moon and A Bridge Too Far, but my absolute favourite from him is The Driver. Also stars Anne Archer, who was in likes of Fatal Attraction, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, the remake of Narrow Margin from 1990, and the film that actually got her the role in this, Raise the Titanic. Also stars Omar Sharif, who was in likes of Lawrence of Arabia, Juggernaut, and The Horseman. So this is about a down on his luck engineer who gets involved in an adventure with a mysterious woman and an emerald magnate. So it takes place between the likes of Mexico and Colombia, although it was entirely shot in Mexico as a stand-in for Colombia itself. So yeah, this is an odd mix of genres on the whole, as well as tones, as this is at its heart an adventure film. But you also get a sprinkling of comedy, some action, and even a heist, while the opening is surprisingly dark, given the rest of this is rather light-hearted. That said, despite this being a bit of a jumble, and narratively speaking somewhat messy, yeah, I did find this on the whole to be engrossing, with plenty of entertaining moments. The three lead cast is also really good. The cinematography is excellent. I like the locales as they look beautiful. The score is predominantly well done by the former bassist in the Rolling Stones, Bill Wyman, although it's nowhere near as rock and roll orientated or guitar orientated or anything like that as you might expect. The pacing is mostly on point. There is some decent action, although it's more impressive in terms of its production because there's like these three singular man hot air balloons that they use to get up to the top of this building that looks really rather impressive. But the action itself is only decent. It doesn't really have much weight to it. But the production is also solid on top of all of that. So yeah, ultimately a decent, entertaining film. It's by no means going to blow the socks off for some people. And yeah, like I said, it is a little bit messy in some regards. Um, but I didn't find it boring. I wasn't bored by it at all. Certainly, the messiness of it does somewhat contribute to that engrossing element, but still, on the whole, I did find it entertaining. So, yeah, there's the original artwork. As you can see, it's got those three air balloons that they use to get on top of a building. That's part of the heist, by the way. Um, but there's also a James Bond connection to this film, as Maurice Binder did the title sequence, the credits, and yeah, they do. It does really come across like a Bond film at the start. Even the song that would come out a couple of years later, called "All Time High" for the film Octopussy, the score at the beginning does sound kind of like that. Um, but yeah, it's not trying to be a Bond film by any means. Does feel also like a precursor to *Romancing the Stone*, given it's about being in a foreign country. It's about a man and a woman who are a little bit incompatible. They're looking for jewelry of high price. So yeah, does feel like a precursor to that. Although *Romancing the Stone* is definitely the better film out of the two. Um, yeah. Also, we have the really rather nice slipcover that comes with these releases. And in terms of extras on the disc, well, we've got a 1080p high definition presentation from a 2024 scan of the original camera negative by Imprint Films. The scan, for the most part, does look good. There are some elements to it that have aged in terms of the print that they've used. There's a couple of lines down the screen at times, and there's some flickering here and there, but I guarantee that the print that they had to work with wasn't particularly great. So they've definitely done the best they have, and those issues are only really minor in comparison to the rest of the film in terms of the way it looks. Like I said, it looks really pretty great. We've also got an extended cut of the film upscale to high definition. Now that is about 6 or 7 minutes longer than the version I watched. I watched the shorter version purely because it had the seemingly has the most amount of work into making it look good. You also got audio commentary by author David J. Moore on the extended cut from 2024. You've got a gravity artist, stunt coordinator Vic Armstrong on Green Ice from 2024. So yeah, doing that hot air balloon stunt was probably is probably mostly what he's going to be talking about. You got isolated music and effects audio track featuring score by Bill Wyman. Then you got Texas Tiles featuring Maurice Binder design sequences, and then the theatrical trailer. So yeah, on the whole, a solid film. Like I said, it's if you going into this expecting, you know, a great film or a proper like 80s adventure film, you know, Indiana Jones, Romancing the Stone, and that lot, then you will be disappointed. But if you go into this with, you know, moderated expectations, then you might well enjoy it. I certainly did. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for me. But I could easily argue it down to 3 stars if I was feeling particularly cynical, but I really wasn't, and I was on the whole on board with this effort. So yeah, highly recommend it if you are into your 80s adventure films. Especially of the lesser known variety. I certainly hadn't heard of this before, despite the cast, despite Bill Wyman being the composer and Maurice Binder doing the title credits. So yeah, do highly recommend it. But if you have seen it, then I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.